Runes to the blood god Khorne were carved into every tree in sight, in every stone. Blood-painted sigils of slaughter marked the passing of the hounds of Karanak. The slaughter of the swamp-dwelling folk had been gruesome work, and those of the pack hoped that these sacrifices might appease their three-headed demonic patron. The Askurgan Trueblades had eluded the hounds thus far, their temple desecrated by the foul chaos worshippers as they themselves were forced to flee as the numbers of the hunting pack were too many. The vampires found themselves relentlessly pursued and knew now they must stand and fight or eventually be run down. Death in battle was honourable, and that was the way the Askurgans would choose to go in Age of Sigmar, Warcry. In today's scenario, we're playing with Victory Condition Final Stand. Each time a fighter from the Defender's Warband is taken down within 1 inch of a terrain feature, the attacker scores 1 victory point. And when the battle ends after 4 battle rounds, the Defender scores 1 victory point for each of their fighters that is within 1 inch of any terrain feature. The player with the most victory points at the end will win. We also have a twist called Loci of Blood, where after both warbands have been deployed, each player picks a fighter on the battlefield to be a locus. Melee attacks made by fighters within 3 inch score critical hits on a 5+. Our deployment map as well is then No Escape. In today's game, I'm going to be playing with the Askurgan Trueblades, and I've got their army ability, which after an enemy fighter with a hero rune mark or with a wounds characteristic of 20 or greater is taken down by melee attacks made by a friendly fighter with this battle trait, I can remove d6 damage points from that fighter. In my dagger, I have my Askurgan Exemplar, an Askurgan Ascetic with Charnel Mace, and an Askurgan Acolyte with Bonehilt Falchion. In my shield is an Askurgan Ascetic with Howling Glaive, and 2 Askurgan Acolytes with Throat Takers. And lastly, my hammer is made up of my Askurgan Pariah and my Curse Blood. Stephen, meanwhile, is playing with the Claws of Karanak. He has the No Claw Unbloodied ability for his warband, and each time an enemy fighter makes a disengage action, roll a dice, and on 2+, you allocate a damage point to that enemy fighter, and each friendly fighter with this battle trait within 1 inch of that enemy fighter. In his dagger, he has 2 Blood Whelps with Barbed Spears, and a Brutalizer with Shredder Blade and Meat Hook. In his shield is his Hound of Wrath and Pack Lord, while in his hammer is 2 Blood Whelps with Claw Flails and a Brutalizer with Shredder Blades. Alrighty, and so we are all deployed down on the table now. In this scenario, the Askurgan's entire force is going to start dagger, shield, and hammer all start on the table. Meanwhile, just the shield of the attackers starts on the table, so it's the Pack Lord. We have both had to pick a Loci of Blood model. We're both picking our heroes, so your Pack Lord and my Askurgan Exemplar will be the models that have been chosen to be the Locais of Blood. So we'll go priority for turn 1. Today's video is brought to you by Polymath Tabletop, a fantastic new name in tabletop wargaming suppliers in Australia, specialising in gaming mats and awesome looking thematic objective markers. Massive thanks to them for supplying the game mats that we've used in today's game, and if you're a Patreon or YouTube member of the channel, you can use our special code to get 5% off your next order. So priority for turn 1, this is for the Askurgan Exemplars. I'll get a 555 and 3 to begin the game with. Meanwhile, Stephen for the Claws of Karanak will get a 655. Wildness-wise, Stephen's not elected to spend any of his, just keeping these 2 singles and 2 doubles. I, however, have made a 1 in addition to my 555 and 3. So Stephen will get the first activation. Just to add to on how we're playing with Final Stand, it says kill near terrain. So how we're going to do that is it is just going to be the 5 big pieces of terrain. And for these, we'll draw a line corner to corner to count them. But we're not going to count fences, so fences don't count if I'm standing next to them at the end of the game, or if Stephen kills me on a fence. That doesn't count as a piece of terrain for us. Alright, so first activation, Stephen's done a double move with a Hound of Wrath. Just moving him up the building there. My first activation, I'm going to spend a double for Rush, and it's going to go on the Askurgan Astic with Charnel Mace. So I make a double move back to the terrain feature back here. Your turn. And then you make a double move with the Pack Lord. I'm going to spend another double for a Rush, this time on the Askurgan Exemplar. He's going to make a double move behind his line of troops there. Then spend my triple for another rush, moving the falchion wielding acolyte back there. Then we just got some other moves left for the end of round 1. Just making some moves with all the Askurgans, bring them all within 1 inch of this terrain feature, as far away as possible from you. Come and get me. You've had your dagger come onto the table now at the beginning of round 2. So we're going to go priority for round 2. So for the Askurgans, I will get nothing. That is a straight. Meanwhile, Stephen will get a double 5, and that is it. And so, Wild Dust wise, we're both going to choose not to spend them for round 2. So that means it's going to be the Askurgans choose to activate, and I'm going to give the initiative away to Stephen for the round. And he just starts with a double move with his Pack Lord. Because he has to come and get me, I'm going to do a wait action with my Pariah back here to begin with. Then I'm going to make a double move with your Hound of Wrath, having used a double for Rush to enable him to get down from the building and over. I'm going to go another wait action because I'm quite happy to sit here on this scenario. Cursed Blood's going to use a wait. And so your first blood whelp comes out into the open. Am I tempted to go fight him? You know what? Ooh, it's a piece of terrain. Do I want to get ganked there? You know what? We're going to go for a move because your Hound of Wrath's already activated. I'm going to activate the Askurgan Exemplar. And so strength 6 versus 3 means I need 3s with my 3 attacks. That will be 2, so the total damage there will be 8. Making a double move with your other blood whelp to get in there with the Askurgan Exemplar. And so move in with the Acolyte with Falchion into your blood whelp. 2 attacks at strength 5, needing 3s. That is a crit and a hit, so that will be 7 damage. Your Brutalizer with the Meat Hook then moves into the combat there with a double move. Next, the 2 models that waited, my Pariah and my Cursed Blood, both make a single move. And now I've just got these fighters down here to activate. And so the first of my Throat Takers is going to go up behind my Askurgan Exemplar and attack the model with the least amount of wounds on it. It's the one that took 8 wounds. So needing 3s. Just a crit, which will be 4 points of damage, enough to take down the blood whelp. Now stick with the Cursed Glaive, then makes a single move and is going to attack the Brutalizer. So only 2 attacks at strength 5. So needing 3s, got 1. And then we just move up our last asset with the Channel Mace and the other Throat Taker, who just ends out of range of your other blood whelp. And that will be the end of round 2.
Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well.
So at the beginning of round 3, your last fighters come in. And so priority. So priority for the Askurgans. 44411. And go. Just for you, you've got a 1133. Alrighty, so Wild Dust wise, Stephen has gone and made a couple of doubles there. Meanwhile, I've made a 111 and quad 4, so we've both got a single left over. So this means it's going to be a roll-off for the turn. So turn 3 roll-off to see who has the initiative. Askurgan's got a 2. Meanwhile, Stephen is going to get a 2. Stop that. I got a 2. Okay, you have choice of initiative. So first of all, your blood whelp is going to attack the Askurgan Acolyte with Falchion, needing 3s. Yep. So it's 2. That is a crit because you're within the loci of blood. So 6 damage going again. You get the same. No, that will just be 4. So that will be 10 points of damage on the Falchion wielder. You're then going to spend a double 1 for pack tactics, allowing you to pick another pack fighter.
So this will be the Hound of Wrath, which can immediately activate now. So your Hound of Wrath has moved in there. You now are going to use a double for Flaming Breath. So on a 4+, enemy fighters within 1 inch take 3 damage points. So you roll for each fighter. So who are you rolling for first? The dude that will die if you do it? No. It's a 4+. And the Askurgan Exemplar? Yes. And then the Hound of Wrath is going to go into the Acolyte. 5 attacks, needing 3s. It's just got the 2, so that is 2 points of damage each, which will take the Falchion Wielder down. My Askurgan Exemplar is going to go next, and he is within 1 inch just of your Blood Whelp, so I'm going to attack him. So needing 3s. That's a crit, so that'll be 6 damage. And just take him out. So I'm going to spend a 111 for Magisterial Poise. I can only use this if I've taken down a fighter with an attack action. Until the end of the battle round, I add 1 to the attack's characteristic of melee attack actions made by visible friendly fighters within 8 inch. And then he's also going to attack the Brutalizer that's in there. So needing 3s. Nothing. So using a double for Onslaught on the Brutalizer with Meat Hook, attacking the Ascetic with the Glaive. So needing 4s to wound me. So 4s needed. So it'll be 2 regular and a crit. So 9 damage so far, going with a second attack, still benefiting from Onslaught. That'll be 2 and a crit, another 9, which will take me down, so that'll be 18 in total. Alright, so the Pariah then moves in, and 2 attacks, strength 5, needing 3s. I get an extra attack actually from the Magisterial Poise. That's a crit, so that's 7 points of damage. The first of your Blood Whelps comes in and makes a double move, leaving just outside. I'm going to activate the Cursed Blood. And so I've used Quad 4 for Rampage, making a free move and a free attack now into the Hound of Wrath. And so we are 3s to wound, 5s are crits. That is 2 crits and a hit, so that will be 10 points of damage. So a second attack into the Hound of Wrath then. Kills him with 3 crits. And then we'll finish off with a move into contact with the Brutalizer. So your next action. Next Blood Whelp will move in behind the Askurgans. So I'm going to activate the Throat Taker Wielder here. So strength 4 with the Throat Taker into the Brutalizer, who already has a couple of wounds on him. So needing 3s. That is 2 crits and 2 hits. So that will be 10 points of damage, taking him to 12. And going again, that'll be 2 hits. No, that'll just be 2 points of damage. You're not dead. Other Brutalizer comes and moves up. I'm then going to go with my next Throat Taker. Going into the Brutalizer in the forest again. That's a crit. That will see him go down. Your Pack Lord makes a double move. And then I'll make a double move, the Ascetic with the Child Mace over the other side of the forest. So, go into the final rounds. Alrighty, so we are going to go priority for the last round. This is for the Askurgans. I got a double 2. That is it for singles. I'm actually quite happy with that. Meanwhile, you're going to get a double 1, double 3. Alrighty, so I am going to take the first activation, and in all the glorious honor of the Askurgans, I'm going to make a double move. You come catch me if you can. First of your Blood Whelps moves up, is going to try and make an attack into the Acolyte there. Sorry, you're not going to use an Onslaught. You're going to wait. You're just going to do your single attack with the Blood Whelp. You are critting on 5s though. Okay, so that is just a crit, which will be 3 points of damage. Yeah. And then you're going to use a double to give you Pack Tactics to bring in the next Blood Whelp. And then you're going to use Onslaught on the second one. So this will give you 4. You really want 3 5+s here. Unfortunately got none. You're only strength 3, so only the 4 will do it. So it's 4 damage. At this point, I'm going to play the tactic that'll win. I'm going to take a wound on my Askurgan Exemplar, retreating out of combat with you because I'm disengaging out of combat range.
which means because of your special rule from the Claws of Karanak, I take a point of damage. After he's made a move out and a double move just to get to the edge of terrain, I'm then going to spend my triple 2 to use Respite to bring me to only 2 wounds taken. That'll be your activation next. Using a double for rush, you come up to my Acolyte. Strength 4. So defense 3, so needing 3s. No crits on 5s now though. Have 2 left, and because I can just... I can't actually disengage now because you've got 3 dudes there. So I take 3 damage and actually die. So to stop you being able to make the attacks and kill another fighter, the Cursed Blood will then just make a double move into your Pack Lord to hold off the Cornate Onslaught. I mean, your Pack Lord can try and kill me. You're not going to get any points for it, but that's the only thing he can do now. And just for that, you're going to go an Onslaught to try and slaughter my Cursed Blood. I am defense 4, strength 5, and with 6 attacks each time. So 11 points of damage on that first hit with 3 and a crit. Going again, there is 3 and a crit, another 11 points of damage. That is not enough to take me down though, as I have 25 wounds, you did 22 damage. So with that, you did take down 2 of my fighters, but I still have 5 within an inch of terrain, and so it'll be a victory to the Askurgan Trueblades.